let's get to our first topic. We're already 20 minutes in. We didn't even get to the show yet, but I'll get to y'all questions and stuff in a minute. Let's talk about this mess that was the Deliverance. So I finally got around to watching it. I didn't watch it as soon as it came out. I thought about it, but then I was like, I had so much going on. There was other things that was on TV, or I did go out being a hoe. Don't judge me. But anyway, because birthday weekend, But so yeah. So apparently Lee Daniels is facing backlash over a comment that he made about Glenn Close's character. Now, Glenn Close in the movie plays, I think her name is Arlene. I have to look that up. But yeah, so apparently he had made a comment. The people, black folks was mad. Black Twitter got into his ass, felt like he was shucking and jiving. Some people call him worse than Tyler Perry. I mean, sidebar, before we get to this whole thing, one person pissed me off because somebody had written something on their page and I commented on it. And they got mad at me because I was like, yeah, just like y'all be sitting up in here with, celebrating Tyler Perry and them tight ass wigs and all that other shit. Well, first of all, I called him Tired Perry, Tyred, because that's his new name, because his movies is tired, in my opinion. And when I was talking about it, whatever, I did hear some people say, like, well, why you gotta drag Tyler Perry in? Because they two peas in a fucking pod in regards of the type of subject matter they was doing, especially all that excess church stuff that y'all was putting all up in that movie, that she had to get right with God in order for her to defeat the demon that was in her son. And then the other two kids, I think they was in, I don't know what they was in. They was in a foster home, a mental hospital. They was somewhere. All of a sudden, stigmata's happening to the kids. The daughter having her period. Then you got the son eating it. But they said he did off camera, apparently. They said he ate his poop and he threw shit on the teacher. And it's like, so all this stuff is going on. They trying to say it's demons. I'm like, it's probably child neglect, quiet as it's kept. But y'all sitting up here trying to pretend like it's some demons and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden she's doing all that T.S. Madison speaking in tongues shit that y'all be out here doing. And all of a sudden, Jesus, doing all that foolishness. And y'all sitting up in there, oh, yes, y'all eating it up like it's yesterday's leftover Chinese. And I'm sitting there watching the movie like, this is the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And on top of that, I'm like, this is basically The Conjuring with black folks. Like, except The Conjuring was a good movie. So, of course, Lee Daniels knew he had a turd on his damn hands. Why else would Netflix give secure the rights to the movie? Because there's very few, and it's really hard to find a good movie on Netflix because all their original films are bad. And y'all can't sit up here and say they not. Because if they not bad, then y'all will be watching these shits on repeat. There's very few movies, original films on Netflix that I will rewatch. One is The Old Guard with where's the sequel for that, number one, with Charlize Theron. And the second one is Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. Those are two actually decent films that I can sit and do a rewatch with because they have like a hook to bring you in. But with this movie, I'm sitting there like, outside of her performance, Andre Day's performance, and Monique's performance. First of all, Monique should have been the grandmother, not no damn social worker. Didn't even need, and the people was mad because they was like, the Glenn Close character don't even exist. She was a full black woman, but you decided to make her white. I'm like, that was the only thing y'all was mad about. First of all, the names of the people in the movie wasn't even their names. The mother real life name wasn't no damn Ebony, but y'all want to focus on this, but focus what you want to focus on. So basically it says, according to the story, the horror film is currently the most watched title on Netflix because it's new. That's why I'm saying. And have led to many discovering the story of the Demon House, which saw an Indiana family claim they were haunted by a demonic presence and swarms of unkillable flies in 2011. With the movie, Daniels, whose past credits include Precious and The Butler, have taken a foray into the horror genre. He even claims Strange Occurrences played production. Now that I do not believe. I believe y'all just be making shit up, just so that way y'all can have like one of those poltergeist curse type moments. I don't believe in these people when they be on oh my god, a light fixture broke, or a frame came out of out of whack, or it fell on the floor. I'm like, okay, that's not scary. Like, what are you talking about? You don't hear people on the set of Terrifier talking about strange occurrences happen. No, the only thing they'll say is the actor that plays Arthur Clown, the director almost made him throw up because Leone always be wanting to fuck with him. That's probably why. So they said the film, by the end of the film, Close's character is being exorcised by a priest, which shows the actor disappear into one of her roles in a way films have not seen before. Well, here's the thing, according to this article, clearly y'all didn't watch the film because Glenn Close's character was not exorcised by a priest. That scene they're talking about in the third act was basically the little boy whose body had been taken over by that little other demon from the 90s that went and had his family and them killing each other and all this other mess, took over the son. And you started seeing it take shape and manifest. The same stuff they steal from like every other supernatural cliche under the sun, from The Exorcist to the Exorcism of Emily Rose on down. It's always the same beats when they do these damn supernatural movies. Nothing new is brought to the table, but y'all sit and eat it up. I'm just like, okay, this movie is not original. And that was what was irritating me. That was one of the many things that was irritating me about that damn movie. And then they said that now y'all already know about the iconic line that I did laugh when she said that. She said, I can smell your nappy pussy. Now when she said that, I did cackle. And now, of course, the people was mad because y'all had her say that. One viewer shared a clip for the film writing, Lee Daniels, you will pay for your crimes for having Glenn Close say this, to which Daniels replied, had to do it. Oh, okay. Well, that's what you need to tell yourself in order to sleep at night, sir. Be my guest. Now, they said Daniels has repeatedly praised Close for her performance, promising viewers ahead of its addition to Netflix. Y'all are not ready for Glenn in this. Well, he was hyping up her performance throughout the whole thing. Speaking about the role, the filmmaker wrote, every Black person knows in Alberta she's part of the fabric of our community, but we've never seen her on screen before. Thank you, Glenn, for bringing her magnificently to life. We already know people already had issues with him saying that. Now, here's what the people said, because let's take a trip over to Black Twitter. One person said this ninja added a white woman to a true story that did not involve a white woman and said it's because white women like her are part of the fabric of the Black community. He is objectively worse than Tyler Perry. I'm sorry, he is like if Tyler Perry and Kenya Barris had a baby. God damn. Another person said, so I'm watching the documentary about the house and the family that the Deliverance is supposed to be inspired by. The grandma is Black. At This Is Kashmir is right. Lee Daniels is the actual villain. Ooh. Another person put the fabric of ... Whose community? Who is our? Another person put, you could have just thanked her. My God. Another person tweeted, the movie was okay and all, but you might want to pump the brakes a bit with part of the fabric of our community. Another person put, I like Glenn Close, but the fabric of what? So yeah, a lot of people were basically just going in and say, but there was the funny one. One said, Chad, you threw a few cock-sided wigs on Glenn Close and she's woven into the community, always effing up a good thing with your antics. We were vibing with the Deliverance. Which I will say is true, is that why can't Lee Daniels just make a movie and then let us just get into it and enjoy it for what it is, rather than him always trying to be extra with the antics and all this other stuff. You had, and he wasn't the only one that had Glenn Close and lopsided ass wigs. He had Miss Lawrence in one too. One of them old Monet Exchange shake and goes. I was like, you had her looking a mess in that damn movie, but they was all looking a mess. And another person said, I think you may be painting a wide brush there. I've been a Black person for 37 years. I know not one Alberta. And I also like to ask, what community is she the fabric of? You're dragging it, sir. So y'all pretty much got the hint, or whatever the case is. And then it was talking also about, it is based on a true story, because a woman by the name of Latoya Ammons, who said her family was haunted by evil spirits after hearing unexplained footsteps in the basement and seeing a shadowy figure of a man pacing back and forth in the living room. But how come we ain't seen none of that in the movie? He basically spent so much time with the door being ajar, the son banging his damn head on the door. The door be open at night, the flies and stuff coming out of the basement. Like, if you smell something stink in your house, and this is me channeling my Black side, because I'm a mixed race. But on my Black side, if something is protruding from the basement, we go down there and see what the hell's going on. if you got flies and stuff going up in there, why not call an exterminator or somebody to come up in there and get rid of whatever? And then on top of that, you had the other guy that came to retrieve a dead animal from the basement, and then he like, it's $60. I'm not paying for it, bitch. What in what planet do you think you're gonna have somebody come over to your house and do an investigation on what might be stinking in your basement and thinking you're not gonna pay for it? If you ain't got the 60, and then on top of that, I'm like, if it's $60, I'm like, okay, throw that shit back down there. If I ain't got the money, I'll get a bag, I'll get a glove, and I'll throw that shit in the bag and throw it in the garbage. Like she wiped shit from her children, all three of them. That should be a cakewalk. And I'm sure she probably had to wipe her mama ass when she had cancer from the movie. So you can't pick up a dead animal? Like it was like the littlest details which just was not making sense in this damn movie. So that was another frustration. Y'all can tell by my tone. But overall, I'll say this, look, while I believe that Lee's comment regarding women like Glenn's character being the fabric of our Black community was a poor choice of words, we're not going to act like white women like her do not exist in poor Black dominated neighborhoods. Like, I will say for me, for one, me growing up in Brownsville, Brooklyn, there were plenty of white women that I would see that were like Alberta. They were a part of the neighborhood. They weren't a fabric of the neighborhood. So maybe he need to choose his word, but that's a Black homosexual. Gay men are extra, especially if you talk about Lee Daniels. He's very extra with his words and his delivery regarding the deliverance. Yes, that was intentional the way I said that. Now, as for the movie, I will say this as a horror movie fan, I just thought it was okay. I mean, even though I was throughout the whole story, I was throwing in my little, jabs or whatever the case was, but I thought it was just all right. In my opinion, was not a good movie. Like I've seen so many other possession films that did a much better job. I thought tonally it was all over the place. Whereas like you were dragging things out, and by the time things got going, it was just like the movie was almost over. Because you want to add all this poverty, Black people down in the trenches type stuff going on. And also, riddle me this: if this lady did hair that was always broke, how was she able to afford that house? Was there like a discount or something or another because the house had this reputation of being haunted? If y'all would have played that up, that would have made a lot more sense because I'm sure that we've had movies like that before where they have situations where it was like, oh, the house is like real cheap, but there's a reason why the house is cheap because it's haunted and nobody want to buy it. So we have to take like a big pay. Like if y'all would have played that up, but there was things that were implied but not explained, and you can't expect your audience to just sit up there and fill in the blanks on unanswered questions if it's not brought up or addressed in some sort of way. So there was a lot of plot holes in this damn movie. This is me paying too close attention when it comes to shit. And in regards to the supernatural horror, I don't feel like I said, he brought nothing new to the table. And Glenn was good in the part. But she was there to chew up the scenery. But what about the main point of this thing is it should be about the story. The over the top Tyler Perryism to me, took away the core point of the story. And in my opinion, the film should have really struggled on a single mother trying to protect her kids from supernatural evil forces and less on the hood rat trauma tropes that are often thrusted in the film centered on Black families. Now, also, I should point out, if I didn't do this already, I did think that Anjanou Ellis, Andra Day, and Monique, they definitely did their thing in the movie. But, and I realized that everybody wants to talk about Glenn Close because she overshadowed, the overall, I think it was her overall look, the hunching. I was going to say humping, but I was like, let's go with hunching Omar Epps. I'm like, damn, is everybody in here gotta have that look of the hood? This is the issue that I also have with Rob Zombie films. Like whenever I watch him, he's always like, everybody's dressed up like they trailer trash. Why is every person in the film gotta look like a damn stereotypical hood rat type of character? Even down to when she was getting her chemo, you had Omar Epps, the nurse, with a goddamn do-rag on. I'm sitting there like, now I've been to many a hospital, and I work in many a hospital. I do not be seeing dudes walking around like that unless I guess it's smack dab in the hood. But it's like, come on. I just felt like Lee was laying it on thick. Where's the diversity in regards of different aspects of Black folks. Not that they all look the same. They all have to embody these same characteristics. Everybody's from the hood, apparently, in his head. And this is why I can't stand about him. Like, I'm feeling like people like that, these Black people who are in these positions of power, continue to punch down and pander to a certain type of Black people in the community and think that's all we want to see. We're not all downtrodden. We're not all in the, scraping by, living in the hood, bums, trying to living paycheck to paycheck, abusing, like, you already made that movie. It was called Precious. Like, give us something else. So, and then I'll also say this: by the time we got to the third act, where Ingenue and Andre's characters basically was trying to exorcise the demon from that child, I had already checked out of the film. I was over it. I was just like, anybody got time for this? Like, I just moved on from the whole thing. Her with these teeth was a cackle. And then they showing her, her. I was like, damn, what happened to her head when she took that wig off? I was like, apparently she had the cancer. So yeah, I guess y'all can tell I didn't particularly like the film. But I say all of this to say, what did y'all think? Did y'all get what Lee was saying, but he was just being extra, or y'all really with the people when they were saying that here he go, he always gotta go fuck up the thing by being mad extra on saying some stuff when that ain't what it is. It's just like, you could just say that there's a bunch of Albertas that do exist in the hood, but they're not the fabric of the community. And then on top of that, it's just like, when it comes to, you know, yeah, I think that's all I got to say on that, because I'm tired of talking about this story. So anyway, let me know what y'all think of this story in the comments.